Two and one. Ladies and gents, what is going on? Tony Berardo here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Berardo Podcast. Today's episode's kind of cool because a big milestone for me anyway was getting to 100 episodes. Well, today is episode 50, so I'm like halfway there, which is kind of fun. And it just so happens that we're halfway through the year. It's almost July 4th, so there's about 6 months left in 2019. Today's episode should be kind of fun because I'm going to have a very special guest. You may know her from other episodes. But I want to talk about something that, you guys know I'm very passionate about fitness and health and wellness and all that. And I've been kind of bored lately, just kind of going through the motions, going to the gym like I normally do about, 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week. And I just got kind of bored. So last couple of weeks I switched up my workout in the gym. And then the wife and I actually did some stuff outside the gym, different clubs and memberships that we tried. And it's been almost 2 weeks. So I kind of wanted to share that info with you guys and give the pros and cons. So if maybe you're going through the same thing where you're bored with your workouts, it might be something you could try out. But before we get into that, I did want to give you guys a quick shout out talking about fitness and health and wellness and all that. I actually just got a new shipment from this brand new company that just started. It's called The Juice 13. Pretty cool little package, but again, it's a startup company. It comes with a couple 3-ounce juice shots that you could do. And for you guys watching on YouTube, the ingredients, if you notice, the one thing I really love about this, and I'm showing you guys on the video, is it actually has all the ingredients and you can pronounce them. So to me, I kind of look at all that stuff like, especially with my condition, that's something I could definitely get on board with. And not only that, but it's got, the reason it's called Juice 13 is it's got 13 nutrients that, your body needs. But unfortunately, like, again, for me, and maybe you guys can relate with this, but all the nutrients that you need to put in your body, sometimes you don't have time to. All the fruits and veggies and the MCT oils and the ginger and all the stuff that we're told that, is good for us. Unless you're eating that stuff all day, every day, it's hard to kind of cram all that in without feeling uncomfortable, right? Cool thing with this is it's got all 13 of those nutrients all in one little scoop. You scoop that up, you throw this in this little jar they gave you, or you could do what I do, which is just throw in the smoothies, which is even better because then you can kind of mix it up with any flavors that you want. But it's got MCT oil, it's got ginger, it's got blueberry and blackberry extract. It's just a really, really great company, and their message is really strong. I encourage you to give them a shot on the website. You can check it out at thejuice13.com, but use the numbers 13. So thejuice, the number 13.com. If you want to purchase anything on the site, all my listeners are getting a big discount on any purchase. Just use the code TheBerardo. You know how that works. Do it at checkout, and you're going to get a cool discount. So, but anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Everyone, please help me welcome the beautiful, the gorgeous, the one and only Brenda Berardo.
It's funny. It's funny, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
Okay. So, hey, babe.
Hi.
What's going on?
Not much. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for coming back on. It's been a while.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't think the mic picked up that burp.
It did, because
Did
I
it?
heard it in my ears.
I'll try to edit that out or not. Might be funny if I don't. But, yeah, it's been a while since you've been on.
I know.
Sorry about
Thanks
that.
for having me.
Well, no problem. You were close by.
Well, yeah. Few steps away.
That's right. Well, I'm sorry I've just been busy last few weeks.
I've also opted out of some of them.
You have. It's okay. I'll make it without you.
But I've gotten you great footage, so you got to give me credit there.
I do. And when I post, I do end up putting that, hashtag.
Good looks.
I do hashtag Instagram wife because that's what
That's what I am.
that's what you are to me apparently. But no, if there's any footage out there that you like all my trailers and stuff I do, it's mainly because of the wife. So she might opt out to do the episode, but She might even opt out and just do the episode just because she's like, whoa, this is too big time for me. Because I'm getting pretty big time. I'm going to conference rooms and shit now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Getting bombarded with crazy information.
Yeah. Oh, it's been good. So yeah, so this episode I wanted to definitely talk about why I switched up my workouts. Because I don't know if you know. I mean, you wouldn't know because you haven't really made it to the gym the last few weeks. But that's okay.
I have just not LA Fitness.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. But I mean, like, before this.
Oh.
Like, a few weeks before that. So
Yeah.
we're paying, like, $40 a month, and you make it, like, once or twice a month. But, you know, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's your
I
prerogative.
have my reasons.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Oh, did you listen down?
Yeah.
Good, I can't wait to hear this shit. But anyway.
I can't wait for you to hear it as well.
So, I've switched to my workout, and I'm going to do a blog about it. So it might even be up by the time I post this episode. But I've done this workout in the past, but I just started doing it. It's called the dog crap workout. It's a DC training is what it's labeled as if you want to Google it. But I'm going to post a whole blog. I kind of did like my own version of that because me and Scott have done that in the past. And it's pretty much...
But why would it call it dog crap? Why couldn't DC stand for something else?
Well, they purposely called it dog crap because you feel like dog crap afterwards. And I don't think they called it, you know.
Just call it the shit workout.
Yeah, but then it won't be posted on like Google. You know, you want something that you can actually put down. Anyway, so essentially there's 2 workouts that you do. Workout A, workout B. And every other day you rotate it. So like if you want to only work out 3 days a week, you know, you do workout A, then take a day off, workout B, take a day off, workout A, so on and so forth. And you go every other day. So technically it doesn't gauge it based off 7 days in a week. It just gauges it every other day. And then on your off days, you could do either cardio or abs or take the day off or whatever. But each workout includes, I got Richie on it. He's gained 10 pounds in a month.
He's gained?
He's gained 10 pounds, like a muscle. Yeah.
Oh. I was like, I feel like that was...
Yeah, not fat. He's went to McDonald's every single day and he's gained 10 pounds a month. No, but he said he's liking it, so I'm looking forward to seeing the after picture. But so like workout A would be biceps, quads, hamstrings, forearms, and calves.
So basically fuck your whole body in one workout.
No, just biceps, calves, hamstrings, quads. So you're only doing biceps for the upper body. And then you take a day off, and the next day is workout B, and that workout's triceps, chest, shoulders, and what was the other one? I forget, I'm not looking at it. But so that's how it's laid out. But then each exercise you're only doing, or each muscle group you're only doing 3 exercises. And you're doing high weight, low reps. So it's very intense. And then that's the one, remember, I had you do a couple times where you stretch after each one. Mm-hmm. Remember that? So you work out and then you stretch. So that's what it is. So I'm going to post all this up on my blog so you guys can take a look at it. But I switched that up the last couple of weeks. And I'm feeling and seeing just really good results from it. But then it was kind of good timing that you decided to stop going to LA Fitness. Mm-hmm. And you got this thing called ClassPass. Uh-huh. Shout out to ClassPass. They are not a sponsor of the Barado podcast, but fuck me sideways, I would love to get them as a sponsor because it's a really cool app. I believe it's available on all devices. Mm-hmm. I know it's available on Apple because that's what we have because, you know, we're adults and we're cool and you should have an Apple because if you don't, it's weird. But it's pretty, I would probably compare it to like a Groupon for fitness. Is that fair to say? How would you, like if you're talking to like a 15-year-old kid, what would you say that this is?
I wouldn't say it. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a Groupon.
I mean,
it's a flat fee.
Yeah.
And then you just get access to a lot of different gyms.
Right.
I would kind of...
And not just gyms.
There's something else that does something similar, but it's a different type of service, but I can't remember what it is.
You know what it's like? It's like Movie Pass. Remember the Movie Pass?
Oh, yeah.
You pay like $20 and you can get unlimited movies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is, where you pay like, I think it's 30 or 40 bucks, maybe it's more, but you pay a flat amount to ClassPass, and it's all one word in the app, but you pay a flat amount to ClassPass, and then you could search any gym in your area, and it's all based off credits. So like, a yoga class would be 5 credits, let's say. And then a gym, if you want to go to UFit, that would be 4 credits, whatever, however they gauge it. And I don't even know how that works. But when you walk up, it's free. And it's unlimited as long as you have your credits. And I think it's like 45 credits for 30 bucks or 40 bucks. It probably breaks up to like $1 a credit, if I could guess.
I think it's a little bit more.
Because I feel like the membership's like 45 or 50 bucks a month, and you get 45 credits. That's what I feel like. But either way, it's a great deal because it's given us a chance to try out other stuff besides the gym. So like, someone like Brenda, as much as she is, she was into dance and fitness and stuff, but, working out at LA Fitness at 5 p.m. when it's super busy, she's not excited about that. But, she knows that, if you want to maintain that smoking hot bod, you got to do some fitness. So she found this thing out, and it's been cool. Because what have we been able to do, like, just in the past week? Do you remember, like, last week what the first thing was that we did?
We did boxing.
That's
We
right.
did yoga,
So it was like on a Sunday, and then 2 days later we did.
yoga, and then I did cycling on Thursday, and then I did a flotation therapy, which I'd love to talk about.
We're gonna get to it, but flotation therapy, and
then we
then
went back to boxing on Sunday.
yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you did 5. So you did 5 things for 30 credits or whatever it cost.
It was 45 credits, but I still have 6 credits left
Yeah.
until, and then it renews every month.
And then every month, yeah. So you would get charged every month. So, and we used it in a
So
whole
it's
week.
kind of like girls will get it, the Fabletics, where you pay $50 a month and you can get an outfit every month. But you can, this one you can't skip the month, but you
Okay.
can go, like at the beginning of the month, you pay the $50 and then
Right.
you can go in and get whatever outfits you want. And
until
they're
you
like,
reach that.
yeah, and they're like combined together.
Interesting. Okay. I'm glad you don't have that anymore. So yeah, okay, it's kind of like that. I get it. But what's cool about it is, like, we did 5 things in a week. So you don't necessarily have to do it. We went pretty hard. But, call it 6 classes, let's say, if you have. So 6 classes for 30 bucks or whatever the gym membership is, or whatever the class pass is. 6 classes, you could spread that out in 30 days. That's pretty cool. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the only thing you do, but I really enjoyed it personally. I love the boxing. I'm like obsessed with that now because I've done it in the past, but just kind of freestyle, and a couple of my buddies at training the MMA and no jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. So I've fucked around a little bit. Of course, I wrestled in high school, but it's been years since I even threw on gloves, and it was really fun. Like, great workout, hardcore, sweat equity, like intense. They do a core workout. Shout out to Title Boxing because that's where it was. I don't know if there are multiple locations, but
There are. They have locations in Orlando too.
yeah. So
And actually, the same owner that has one in Orlando is the one that owns the one that we went to.
oh, get out. Okay.
Yeah,
So shout out to Title Boxing. You're doing a good job, bro.
they're on my list.
Yeah. And then that was cool. What'd you think about the boxing?
That was the first time I've ever taken boxing. I really liked it. I almost died about 5 times because it's nonstop.
It's fucking intense.
I felt like my heart was about to explode.
Yeah.
I was actually dripping sweat.
And you never sweat.
No, it was really intense, but I really liked it because I felt good afterwards.
Yeah.
I feel like it helps get the aggression out.
Yeah, for real.
Like, you'd think that you don't build up aggression during the week until they put boxing gloves on, and then you're like, I can hit this bag? Cool.
Yeah. Like, I even hit it. I was even so excited about that the first time we did it. I had a sprained pinky, and I still wrapped it up and hit the bags. It was great. It was good. And you got to have a good teacher, obviously. And JT was, I think that's his
Yeah,
name, right?
that's his name.
So he was pretty good, and he wasn't as intense.
I feel like he kind of feels the room and goes from that. Like, if he sees
Yeah.
that there's a lot of new people, he'll bring it down a little bit.
Right.
And then, like, this last Sunday that we went, there was a couple of new girls. So, like, he did some stuff, but he added more combinations, but it was still kind of the simple stuff.
Yeah. A lot of jabs, a lot of hooks, a
Yeah.
lot of simple stuff.
And
Less
he
kick
came
spot.
at me with the, what is it?
Well, yeah, just the sparring pads.
Yeah. I was like,
Asking
oh,
to do
man.
uppercuts. Yeah, he'll walk around, because he'll do like freestyle sessions, which is pretty cool. So like the freestyle sessions, he'll walk around. You're hitting the bag, obviously. You're doing whatever you want, and then he'll come around with the pads, and he'll just give you some combinations to do, and
He
you
did
could
it so
fuck around.
fast.
Yeah. Well, I was fucking around with him too. Like I was doing uppercuts, and I would go high with hooks and stuff, and he was on it. So he knows.
I mean,
I was trying to punch him in the face, but it wasn't.
oh,
I was just kidding.
no need.
No.
He didn't deserve that.
I want to go next week, so he needs to be conscious.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that was a good time. That was a lot of fun. So we did. That was kind of the first experience with ClassPass, and literally you walked in, and it was almost like, I mean, they knew.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty.
I feel like the credits are based on like how much it would cost like per class almost, because like the yoga classes will be like 3 credits, but then like that flotation one was 19 credits.
So it's all cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe these people pay a certain amount, and depending on how much they pay is how many credits it'll cost, and that's how they get compensated. I'm very curious on the back end.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up for sure because that is interesting. But I mean, essentially, as a customer, we're only paying, call it $40 for the class pass, and that $40 gets you X amount of credits, and then you can use those credits.
And you can add more too.
Yeah, and you could just buy more if you want. So if like you run out of credits halfway through the month, you can spend $10 and get a couple credits. Like, so it's pretty cool. It's I'm really impressed with it so far. But that was a great first experience because we walked in and they knew exactly what it was. We just
They're like ClassPass membership.
exactly. So it's pretty well known, and maybe we're just stupid. Maybe you guys have done this before, but this was the first I've heard about it, and I've been in the fitness industry for a long time.
The only reason I
So.
found out about it was because of work, because I think they split a deal with iHeart.
Have like a deal for it? Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a corporate plan. That's why I got it.
Nice. Yeah, so you came
And they
strong
give you
with this.
achievements too. Like they have numbers of how
Yeah.
many classes.
Yeah, I
and
noticed
you
that.
can get up to 500 classes. I
Wow.
wonder if you get anything if you do.
Maybe get like free credits or something.
Mm.
But no, I recommend you guys give it a shot, download it. And like I said, I mean they're not sponsors or anything. I think that's pretty cool because just by having a gym membership only, and it's 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, whatever it is, and then the down payment, like you look at my mom as a good example. I told her about this class pass and she's upset that she got a gym membership already because she paid the down payment, and that's what I used to do. Me and Scott, we used to be in sales, so we used to have to ask these 40, 50, 60-year-old women for like a $400 down payment. You do your registration, your first and last months, and then if you
It's
want
like
any personal
leasing
training,
a fucking apartment.
it's a lot of money, and you don't even know if you're going to do it. I mean, I think it's something stupid like 82 or 85% of people that join a gym usually only end up going like once or twice a month. But imagine how many people where you live. Just think about it for a second. How many people? And the gyms aren't that packed.
What? Yes, they are.
No, considering the amount of, what I'm saying is the amount of people that are in the area that have gym memberships, and then you walk up like at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., yeah, there's probably like 200 people in there. But with the amount of people that are in the area that have gym memberships that aren't actually going to the gym at that time, they might not be even going at all. It's just crazy if you think about it. There's a lot of people that have gym memberships that don't use it. That's what I'm saying. It's nuts. Yeah, you're one of them. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of cool to give people a chance to try out, what they like, and if you like it, you can cancel this membership at any time. I don't think there's a cancellation fee. You just cancel it, and then you could, if you decide you only want to do yoga, just buy a yoga membership. That's all.
Yeah. I like it just because I get bored working out.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you go there, especially, a gym like LA Fitness, where when I get off of work, it's jam-packed with everybody that just got off work.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting there trying to find a parking spot. Then you go in there and it's like waiting for a machine. And then you kind of are doing the same workouts. There's a lot of judgment. It's just, I didn't feel motivated. I need someone to tell me what to do.
Mm.
I know that you like to tell me what to do. But like I need someone to just, an unbiased person to tell me what to do.
Interesting concept.
Because I'll be like, well, stop telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tell an instructor, stop telling me what to do. That's their job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It'd be different if I didn't know what I was talking about. That's what the
I
frustrating part
know,
is.
but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
an outside party.
I'm over it. It's been 4 years. I'm over it.
Nah, I just like changing it up. It's fun to like,
Yeah.
well, maybe today I'll do boxing. You know, I got a little aggression pent up.
Yeah.
Or today I'll do yoga. I'm stretching or I just want to relax. Like
Yeah.
they have like that one yoga studio that we went to I really liked. It was
Yeah.
very clean. It was very boutique style. They had all these different, you know, rooms and you can tell that the people that are there are about that lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. They're
They
definitely...
have hot yoga, they have like gentle yoga, they have prenatal, they have all these different options and all these different rooms that you can go into,
kombucha.
which I liked. And they have like a boutique where you can buy mats and like
Yeah.
nice clothing.
Yeah, it was very organized. They had everything you need. Like, you can walk in there and not know anything about yoga. You can get a mat. You can get, you know, your water. You can get an instruction manual. You can talk to the instructors before the class. They're just kind of walking around shaking hands. And they have, yoga pants and tank. I mean, you could walk in there butt ass naked and be able to literally do a class, total comfort. And the way the instructors are laid out, you know, it seems like they're very personable. And like she was walking around doing, when we did yoga that one day, experienced ones, she'll say, hey, do this. And then there was a couple girls that were pregnant. So then she walked up to them and said, hey, do this instead. Like,
Yeah.
it was very couples retreat style.
And it's also, I just like the variety that they have in there. So
Yeah.
if you don't want to do like a super intense like flow,
Yeah.
you can go in there and do the gentle yoga, which is just pretty light stretching.
Yeah.
I liked that.
Yes, encouragement. Yes. You didn't give me enough time to do that, so I had to throw that in there.
And then I went to that cycling class, and that's the first time I've ever done cycling.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Fucking hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it was harder than the boxing
Oh yeah.
because it was like you're hovering the whole time. They make that seat so you don't sit down.
That's right.
But
Well,
then,
if you sit down, they make it so small it's gonna go like up your ass. That's how.
well, literally, that's
Yeah.
what happens.
they
And
do it
then
on
like you're
purpose.
locked into the pedals, so it's like my fear was if I pass out, where the fuck am I gonna go? Because my legs are attached to this bike.
Face first.
I'm just gonna be like hanging over like halfway.
Yeah.
But that one was fun. It was like a throwback Thursday, so they had like throwback, you know, R&B and hip hop,
Oh, that's cool.
stuff like that. And I also like that they have the option of, you know, if it's your first time, obviously you don't want to do an hour and a half, fucking die. You can do like 45 minutes, an hour, or an hour and a half.
What'd you end up doing?
I did the 45 minutes,
Nice.
and that was good enough. And again, dripping sweat.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the key, right? The key is not are you just going to get bored by doing the same thing over and over, but you know, there's a lot of truth to it when they say you want to switch up your workout to get, you know, your muscles kind of in like a shock. And it's not like you're going to get better results. Like studies show that you're like if you do nothing but cycling and then do nothing but yoga afterwards, your body's not going to be shocked and say, "Oh, let me be, you know, more cut or let me lose more fat." Like the body's not designed that way, but what it will do is it'll increase your heart rate depending on what you do, and then eventually your body will get acclimated to what, you know, you're doing, and you're going to get results because you're going to do it more. So typically, like with these studies, they'll have a person that does the cycling and then switches to the yoga, but just because you're more excited about the yoga, when you go in there, you're more pumped up, you know, maybe you do it more often than you do the cycling. So, you know, just switching up your workout is going to get you more excited. So you have to do something that's going to get you excited. So like what I was talking about with the dog crap training, if you're out there and you're into working out at the gym, you could try it. But if you don't like the gym, don't change up your gym workouts. You're not going to get motivated. You know, you're just going to be going through the motions, not getting results. You're going to walk in there and half-ass shit. And, you know, the next thing you know, you're going to skip weekends, and then you skip weekends and nothing but drinking. And then, you know, now you're wasting $40-$50 a month and you're not, you know, working out. So you just got to find something. There's so many cool options out there. Like, didn't you even do the, you didn't book it, the bar class?
Oh, I haven't booked it yet.
You haven't booked it yet. So what's that about? That's just
Bar-
using the bar, like ballet bar?
Yeah, so they use tactics of like basic ballet,
Right.
and they use like the medicine balls, like you hold it between your legs, you do a
Oh,
lot.
cool.
It's a lot of tension working out.
Sure.
So like plie.
Yeah.
It's like a deep squat, and you'll be like pulsating or like the legs pulsing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very high intensity.
I bet.
I feel like when I do workouts that are like in slow-mo, that hurts the worst.
Oh, for sure. Slower you go, faster you grow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to have a trainer, he would have like one day normal workouts, one day he would do like the interval stuff, and then one day it was like the slow day, and I dreaded that day because it was like high weight, and it was like, okay, you have to take 10 seconds to push it out.
Yeah.
10 seconds to push it in.
Yeah, those are negatives. So that's like the workout I was telling you about, the dog crap workout. That's a lot of negatives. You do like it's very slow, it's very controlled. You're not maxing out trying to do as much weight as you possibly can. That's not how you're going to get results. And that's with anything, right? Like I mean, if you're cycling, you don't want to just do it super quick.
No.
You want to take your time.
And that's another thing about the cycling. There's a knob.
Sure.
That you turn it to like,
the resistance.
And she'd be like, oh, put it to 15. I'm like, 15? I can barely pedal at 7. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then she gives you like a certain RPM that you have to hit when you're in that number. And then she'll like bring it down. And then she's like, okay, go to this RPM. And then she'll bring it back up. But it was like that resistance at like, I think I got to maybe 14. And after that, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
My left leg was like twitching.
Yeah, I did cycling a couple times. It's pretty wild, man.
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's rough. Like I actually, I like running more than that, and I hate running.
I fucking hate running.
Yeah.
I would rather cycle all day, every day than run.
No way, Jose. No.
No.
No. But, it's good. It's good that we got this out. And then, of course, I've been really trying to do whatever I can to, like, calm down. Not get my head going as much. Try to, calm down the bees that are in my brain. Just keep hitting my brain and rattling around. So I've been trying to do like some meditation, and I'm doing more CBD oil, which is good. It's helping, I think, calm me down. I almost had a crazy episode like last week, so I think that CBD oil helped. But but the meditation piece is cool because there's a lot of options for that on ClassPass, which was fun. Like we did, what I always want to do was the flotation tank, and that was pretty wild. Brenda's gonna tell you why she hated it, but I thought it was pretty cool. It definitely wasn't what I expected, and I think we even talked about this right when we pulled in. I was like, well, what type of tank is it? Is no lid? Does it have a lid? So these guys had both. They had a pod, which is what I got in because that to me is the coolest one and the most effective. And they have just a regular float tank for you, which essentially is a jacuzzi.
Just an open room.
Yeah, it's a big open room with the jacuzzi in it. Obviously, it's not literally a jacuzzi, but essentially that's kind of what it looks like. And it was okay. I mean, definitely.
What were your thoughts? Because I don't think you fully elaborated.
I didn't. I waited for this podcast, so thanks for asking. Okay, so we first walk in. I knew exactly what to expect. When he gave us the tour is when I was kind of like, oh, okay. So I lost a lot of interest during the tour. And it's not like he did a bad job, but he definitely had way too much CBD oil, if you know what I mean. Like, he was a little bit too relaxed. He was probably high, but cool cat, though. I mean, it was a great place. You could tell they've been there for a long time. Like, he even said they were there for over 5 years. So, like, you guys probably know what float tanks are, but 5 years ago, you didn't know what float tanks are. Like, it's a new thing, very similar to how, like, new gyms are popping up. So this is kind of a new thing, and thanks to Joe Rogan and a lot of other people that talk highly of float tanks, it's become popular. So I was really excited about it, and I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot of reviews and what to do and how to do, and I knew exactly what it was. So when I first hopped in, so I got the one that's called the Float Pod. So it's literally like an alien craft. It's
a capsule. Yeah,
it's a capsule. It's probably the size of the table. I mean, I almost was able to touch it. I would probably say it's like 6'5". Like the whole thing is 6 feet, maybe height-wise, like if you lay down. And then it's probably 4 or 5 feet width. So it's not that big. But you get in there, you close the lid, and it's completely dark. They automatically turn off the lights when you when you turn it off. Of course, you shower beforehand. You hop in, and then, you get out and you shower. Because it's very salty. So, there's so much salt in there that you literally float. You can't even push your arm down because it pops right back up. Like, that's how, you actually float. It's pretty cool. It's a float tank. And the water's only about, 2 feet maybe deep.
Not even.
Not even a foot deep. So you can't drown, obviously, unless you tilt over and pass out, but that's not going to happen. But so you lay on your back, and when it came down, I was super jacked up. Like, I was like, yes, I'm going to fucking relax like a motherfucker. Like, I said that to myself. I'm gonna so fucking relax in this thing.
I'm going to relax so hard.
I'm going to relax so hard. This is going to be so great. I'm going to have, like, Zen-like experiences, and, it's going to be awesome. So I close it. And after about 60 seconds, I was like, this fucking sucks. I can't calm down. Like, what's wrong with me? So I don't know if it was like maybe I was too hyped up. That could be it. And I was so excited that I couldn't calm down. But like right when I closed it, I just kind of like, I tried to hear my breath and like in and out. Like I was really listening to my breath, but then I couldn't stop thinking. Like we were doing a podcast the next day. So I kept talking about that, like what I was going to talk about, the topics. And I was like, okay, dude, calm the fuck down. Who gives a shit about the podcast? You're in a pod. Okay, like it's dark, it's quiet, it's peaceful. This is Zen. And I started talking myself in it, right? Like I could feel it. Now it's like, it feels like 20 minutes, but I know it's only been like 3. And I'm like, things are good. We're good. Nice and calm. Everything's closed. And I'm like talking to myself, and then I'm like, just think like you're in an alien craft, because that's what it's kind of like. And then I started thinking about like, okay, this is an alien craft. Like now I'm freaking out. There's a new documentary on Netflix I want to watch called Bob Lazar that's about UFOs and aliens. And I'm like, ah. So I'm losing my mind thinking about all this stuff. And after about 35 minutes of me wrestling with 17 different brains that I have, I finally was able to calm down. And then right when I calmed down, I felt relaxed. And then lights came on and the motor started going on the thing. And that's when my time was up. So I feel like there's a lot of benefit. I feel like if it was done a little bit better, I know we've talked about this. If it was done a little bit better, and there was maybe some nice scents, right? Oil, stuff like that.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you already know I was anxious on the way there.
Right.
Because I'm claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, they're going to fucking stick me in this pod. Can I just leave the door open at least?
Uh-huh.
And I would put my head towards the open area.
Right.
I was like, all right, so I already psyched myself out in my head, so I already had all this stress and anxiety. So I walk in there, and when you go to a spa,
Right.
you walk in and you just, the ambiance hits you and you're like, okay, this is where I need to be to relax.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in there and it literally smelled like chlorine, like I walked into the LA Fitness public pool.
Right.
And then he has fluorescent lights. And then, yes, he looks stoned as fuck. And he's like, oh, you guys are... He didn't even ask us our names. He didn't...
Introduce himself.
No, I don't even know his name. He didn't introduce himself. And then you could tell that we were like the only 2 people he's seen in several hours.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, yeah, you guys are new. It's like, how would you know that?
Yeah. It's because he's only met 5 people in 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
So... right out the gate, I was already like, now I'm even more anxious because this seems sketch.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he gave us like the tour and like explained stuff, he just gave me a vibe like he would be the type that would bust in the door like while I'm naked floating.
Jesus.
Like, this is where my head went.
I didn't get that vibe. Holy hell.
Well, you're a guy.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay.
I wish you told me that.
So then he shows the pod. I said, fuck no. There's no way I can get in that pod. It was smaller than I expected.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, well, we have the open flotation. And I was like, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Open. I go in there. It's a giant tub. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. He's like, all right, you take a shower. Get in. Take a shower again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I get in there. I take the shower. It's fine. I start the fucking floating.
Yeah.
And I couldn't relax. Like, my shoulders, I felt like were like...
So tense.
They were so tense, and I felt myself like capsuling into the middle of my body because you're
Yeah.
not normally floating like that. So
Well, your body doesn't know, and that's a good point. I didn't say that, but that's a very good point. Like you could definitely tell that your body is not meant to do this.
well, it was
It's
your body
very,
turns into like fight mode because it's like,
it doesn't know
okay,
what's happening.
it's like if I let go, in my mind, I'm thinking if I let go, technically I'm supposed to sink,
Right.
but I'm not sinking.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you think about it, it's 34 years of, or for me, 34 for you, well, a couple years less, but it's 30 plus years of fighting that urge to, you want to kick, you want to keep your head up, and literally, and you said this to me, you're like, my head wouldn't relax. Well, after a while, I kind of felt that too, but after a couple minutes, they have a little ring, and you literally will not sink. You put earplugs in,
well,
and
let me tell you
stay
about that
floated.
lovely ring
Yeah,
and my tiny ass head. My head went right through the hole.
but it doesn't matter. You didn't submerge your face. It's impossible.
Yeah, but my ears went under.
But you have earplugs in. That's the whole idea.
I just didn't.
Yeah,
Couldn't
like-
get out of my head.
But you kept
My
telling
head
me.
went in the hole, and the foam was like almost up to
Yeah.
my forehead, and I was like, this is pointless. So I had to move it down and like use the outer rim,
Right.
and then I put the other rim like to hold my shoulders.
Yeah,
I still couldn't relax.
I know. But it's crazy. There's so much salt, and the water, the way it's designed, you can literally lay completely flat on your back, and it'll hit your ears, but then that's it. That's like the max.
Yeah, I just
Like,
couldn't.
yeah, no, there's no, even if someone was to push your face down under, you just go bloop, pop it right back up. It's incredible. And let me point this out. I spent the first like 15 minutes just fucking around, like floating, like, cause you were like, you're like, you're like a superhero. You're like flying. It's pretty radical.
Well, I'll
And that's
tell
probably why I
you,
couldn't come down. What'd you do the first couple of minutes besides freak out?
freak out. Like you turned off the lights,
Yeah.
and I still had the blue light from in the water on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I hit it, and then I was in complete darkness, and I just closed my eyes, but I literally, all I could think of was like, my back is hurt, because, I mean, I was sore from like working out throughout the week, so my shoulders were already sore, and then I'm tense. So every time I stretched, my back would pop,
Yep.
and
you
then
could
I
hear
would
it.
tense up again, and I would crack it again, and like even my hips popped because like I guess my legs finally found a way to relax,
Yeah.
and then they popped, and I just kept getting tense.
Well, and keep in mind, when they pop and your ears are underwater, you have plugs in, but when
Yeah.
they pop, it's like
Yeah,
you can
I hear
totally,
it.
it's
And
disgusting.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It's weird.
And then I started panicking because I was like, okay, I opened my eyes and it was still pitch dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, you were in a small pod, but I was in that big pool, and I'm not very big.
Right.
So then I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm thinking, this is pretty big. I don't even know where I am in relevance to anything because it's so dark. So then I started panicking because I was like, well, where am I? Like, what if they give like that spray bottle of fresh water in
Yeah.
case like you get it in your face? And
Yeah.
I was like, well, what if I need it and I don't even know where I am in this fucking tank?
Yeah.
So then I started freaking out and like touching the side, trying to find the button to turn on the light.
Yeah.
And then I finally
Jesus.
found it. And when I went to push it, it was so hard to push in that I pushed myself away from it.
And it's pitch dark.
So then I sat up and I'm like touching, and I finally turned it on. And after that, I was like, there's no way I'm relaxing after this. So I sat with my knees up like this in the water, just waiting. And I think I sat like that for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It might have been 5. I don't know.
Well, I couldn't get any rest after about 20 minutes because that's when I started kind of calming down. And then I just heard,
I turned on the shower.
yeah, and you were right next door, and you turn on the shower, and I could totally hear it go off because it's supposed to be completely quiet for everybody.
And that's
But-
the thing. If you had ambiance music, like, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like music. It could be just white noise. That way it drowns out. Because I could hear him walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
I could hear him opening a door. And then, motherfucker warmed up his food.
Oh, yeah, well, that was kind of weird.
I'm like,
Yeah.
so afterwards, like, I took the shower. I went and sat for like 15 minutes. You were still in the
Yeah.
room. And I started feeling sick. Like, I think I had an anxiety attack.
Really?
because I got nauseous.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I was trying to drink the water, and then he warmed up his food, and I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
How nauseous did you get, babe?
So nauseous that on the way home, I was fighting for a really long time. We were about 20 minutes from home, and I asked you to pull over, and I vomited on the side of the road. I was sick to my stomach with anxiety. It was really bad.
So make an appointment at your local float tank facility today.
But then that's my experience. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure that it works wonders for certain people, but I'm a very high anxious person, so I feel like it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And who knows, I could go somewhere else where they do it, and it might be better. Because my friend did it the next day, and she said it was amazing.
At a different...
Yeah, at a different place. And
Yeah.
she said that, you know, they had essential oils going. She could pick her playlist. And I'm like, where was mine?
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like originally it defeats the purpose of putting that stuff. But then if it makes it more...
Yeah. Like, I think the place we went to, and, you know, again, no disrespect to this place or even ClassPass. You know, it's not like, I mean, out of the 6 times we went using ClassPass, everything was perfect. And, you know, it's not like it didn't do its job because it has the tools necessary. But, you know, it's like if you go to a fucking tanning salon, there's going to be some that are like a couple of the bulbs are broke, and then they don't have lotion, and then they don't have free, you know, eye gloves or eye fucking goggles for you. Like, there's going to be some place, and then there's a place that's like perfect. And like the chick there is, you know, or the guy there is a good looking guy, good looking girl. They walk you around. They're all bubbly. They're like, they're all tan. You could tell they actually use the tanning stuff. So there's good and bad. But this was definitely on the bad part of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And even if they didn't have all that, you know, fruity stuff that, you know, that your friend had, because that might have made it better. But I think the one thing that was kind of a turn off, it was very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Clinic-like, hospital-like.
Yeah, very clinic-like, very hospital-like. But it was, you could tell it was outdated because I feel like they might have been one of the first float tanks ever to be in Tampa.
Probably.
Before it was even cool. And then a bunch more opened up, and they're just not getting with the times. Like,
you know what my thought was, and it's going to sound really morbid,
no.
but I literally, once I gave up on the floating part, and I was just sitting there like hugging my knees just because I was cold from my waist up,
Right.
I just thought, I feel like I'm in an insane asylum,
Whoa.
and this was my punishment. Because like, when you looked up, it was like those tiles that you see at like
Like a
corporate,
hospital or,
yeah, like those white tiles. I mean, at least paint it black even, just to like make it.
Yeah. Well, now that you said that too, yeah, it does seem a lot like that. And I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity for a place like that where they can have the black paint on the ceiling and maybe like glow in the dark stars or something like.
Yeah, something. Give
Something,
me something
yeah,
to look at,
give me
because now I'm
something
just
cool to pass
looking
me
up
on.
and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a hospital bed
Yeah.
and I'm in trouble.
Oh, and remember when we walked out of the rooms, they had the chalk boards?
Yeah.
Did you hear me when I asked them about that?
No.
I was like, hey, bro, what's up with this? This is kind of interesting. Is this, what is it, like kids come in? He's like, no, those are just adults when they get done. Sometimes they want to write on the wall with chalk. And it's the entire wall leading up from each room, and it's just a whole big chalkboard. And it's just a bunch of these weird, it looks like a playpen. Like, what is this place?
And they had different sayings on there. I think people just doodled, but they also had it in that waiting room.
Right. But now that you say it, and I could see how that type of stuff could be aesthetic, but now that you say it, though, a sane asylum, now it makes me think more like psychos were just walking in and, you know, writing murder backwards, like red rum. Yeah.
That's literally how I felt sitting
so
in
now
that
it's more
tank.
freaky.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm locked in this room. And then, like, since you basically signed up for the full hour, I almost felt like I was obligated to stay in that room.
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to abort mission, I felt like I couldn't leave the room, because then he'd
Totally.
be like, oh, why
What
are you getting up?
happened? Yeah.
And I didn't want to answer to that, because even when he asked us, oh, how was it? I didn't say a word.
Yeah.
I was like, bye, nice to meet you.
You just kind of let me do my
Yeah.
my sales thing where I was, you know.
But I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here because I smell your dinner. I'm nauseous.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely, I feel like this is, that's like Denny's that's doesn't want to change their restaurant into First Watch.
Yeah, like at some point you gotta remodel and
you got to do
revamp.
something. Yeah, it's like First Watch is the new thing, bro. So you got to change up your shit or your toast. Like that's just how it is.
Like they,
So.
honestly, like I get the whole sensory deprivation thing with the noises and whatever, but honestly, like I felt so anxious that I felt like I couldn't breathe. Therefore, if I can't breathe, how do you expect me to like be able to relax? Like I felt like my nose was getting clogged.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously when you're like meditating and stuff, your toxins are moving around or,
Yeah.
whatever, it's going to clog your nose. But if I had some eucalyptus in there, I probably would have been able to like take a deep breath and be like, okay, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, definitely a mess. So if there's anybody that wants to try a float tank, definitely try it, but make sure it's the right spot. Make sure they got all the...
Do your research.
Yeah, do your research, which we just kind of hopped in because I didn't really think it was that popular, at least in Tampa. I know in L.A. it's extremely popular. In New York, there's a few float tanks, but I thought it was this kind of new thing that
But
a lot
they
of people
had
won't
good
know on here.
reviews. It was just...
Well, and again, these are people that probably have done it before. I think if we go back constantly and, that I know you could probably bring your own, maybe you could bring your own shit. I mean, we didn't ask that, but maybe you could bring your own oils and all. But again, if this wasn't on ClassPass, would I pay for it? And I think that's the problem here is that's like $100 service. I would never pay
They have one right
$10
down the street.
for that service.
There was a Groupon for $34 for the one down the street.
So see, South Tampa, I think they might have done it right. They kind of have to. It's a very bougie clientele, so maybe we'll try that out.
My coworker Janelle went to that one, and she
that's the
said that
one-
she liked it.
Is that the one that she went to
Yeah.
after us?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that then, because it looked a lot nicer.
Yeah, I mean, she liked it. She said that she said at first it was hard for her to kind of like let it go and
Yeah.
float, but she said that she fell asleep and like she twitched awake, and I was like, I could not imagine.
Yeah, well, I hear that happens a lot with people, is you get so relaxed that happens.
Like, I mean, I've fallen asleep getting my eyelashes done.
Yeah. Well, the best analogy I heard is like when you get your hair done and then do the shampoo and you lay down and they spray the water on you, and when you're about to like that, that's what the feeling's supposed to be like. It's like you don't wake up. You just pass out for 30 minutes to an hour and you get that, what do they call that sleep? The
REM
REM
sleep.
sleep? Yeah.
REM sleep.
You get the REM sleep where it's
Well,
like...
that's how you know when your body's fully relaxed is when the more you twitch, the more tired you are,
Yeah.
and your body's just trying to like shake it out.
Because the reason you don't get fully relaxed, especially when you're sleeping, is because there's so many, like they even say blankets. Sometimes blankets, if you move.
Well,
and
that's why. Have you heard of those weighted blankets?
yeah, and exactly.
That's a thing now.
Well, that's why when you, nuzzle, what do you call it? Nuzzle a baby? Cuddle a baby? Coddle? Was it coddle?
Swaddle.
Swaddle, thank you. I knew it ended with a oddle. But yeah, when you swaddle, that's the reason why, is you make it so tight where they don't move and there's nothing, So it's essentially kind of what the float tank is designed to do. So
And they also put them in like these blanket things
Yeah.
where even when they have, I forget what it's called, but when they twitch and they like throw their arms up where they feel like they're falling,
Yeah.
it catches them and it makes them feel safe, so then they just stay asleep.
exactly. So yeah, I could use that sleep for sure, but meditation hasn't really worked for us. I mean, we've tried it before, but that's why I figured, because I haven't been able to get a lot of sleep lately, and whether my mind is running a mile or a million miles a minute, or maybe it's just because I don't know what it is, but I can't seem to rest. So I feel like maybe if I just work my ass off and work out like crazy, even more than I do, maybe I'll be able to pass out at night, because I slept pretty good last night after kickboxing.
Well, yeah.
Like, we spent the whole day pretty much relaxing after that, but I mean, afterwards I was like I was out.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like with you, though, you'll have one good night's sleep and then you have 3 shitty ones and then you'll have one good one, just because you're catching up on the ones that
yeah,
you didn't sleep.
oh, it's definitely, yeah.
Because you're just always a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
Always. Mentally, physically.
I mean, here we are at 7 p.m. and we're doing a podcast, so we'll stop. But no, this was good. So I think it's important that people do different workouts, switch up your workouts, do things that you enjoy. You know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be anything gym related or yoga or anything like that. But as we get smarter as humans, I feel like yoga, meditation, float therapy, the reason why this stuff is getting popular is because people are starting to understand that
And it's nice to change it up. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing worse than like falling into like a rut.
right,
Where you're like, okay, I went to work, I go to the same gym,
right.
I'm tired of doing the same workouts, and it's like
Routines, yeah,
you fall into this routine, and then it just becomes like mundane. Like every
Right.
day is like, okay, it's the same. I'm gonna go to sleep,
Mhm.
go back to work the next day, do the same thing.
yeah,
It's nice to I've kind of seconded it as we've had a few date nights with it.
yeah, for sure. And you know, it could be dancing, it could be, you know, whatever. But you know, it's what you put in your body and what you do to your body is very important. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of spending money, obviously. But if it's to your health, I think that's crucial. So like, you know, buying a new dresser when you don't need one is one thing, but then buying multivitamins and trying, you know, new things like new proteins and stuff, that's an investment that, you know, it's important because as you get older, you're going to have to invest money into having a good lifestyle. I mean, just ask our parents. I mean, our parents, like your parents probably right now, everybody's parents are probably at the gym or doing something at some point during the week trying to catch up, and they're thinking to themselves, oh boy, I wish I was more fit when I was a kid, you know, when I was in my 30s or when I was in my 40s, because now I'm in my 50s and 60s, it's harder to get the results you want because your body starts to shut down. You know, there's a great saying, I forget what it was, I don't want to butcher it too much, but technically it says once you hit like 50, because that's why testosterone for men drops drastically. Once you hit 50, and you know, menopause for women, all that stuff. Once you hit 50, your body literally is designed to start dying. Like that's just how the body works. So everything you do prior to that is preparing your body for that to make sure it can handle osteoporosis and a broken leg if you get one, or a broken arm, and your body needs to be able to handle this stuff. Like you think a person that's 300 pounds, if they break their leg, you think their body's going to react the same way my body would react? Of course not. The body's going to shut down and say, broken leg? Fuck that. We're not fixing that. Peace out, fat boy. Like that's what your body's saying if something happens. So you can't let your body get to that point. You have to figure it out. So, you know, to your point, you just got to find something that you like and that you're not going to get in a routine, and something that you could do. Even that's, you know, if it's biking every day on the beach, whatever. It's free. But do something to kind of keep your body active. And your mind too. So not necessarily float therapy, but I definitely want to try to get into meditation more. We need to do something.
See, like
Calm my ass down.
We've done meditation at home once.
Yeah, that was good for you.
That was good for me because I'm at home, like I'm
Yeah.
in my space. I was able to lay down and I was like, I'm good. You, on the other hand, not so much. But it's like, I don't know, if I don't feel the vibe, that's like if you walk into a like massage parlor
Right.
and they have the tinted windows and some Asian woman that barely speaks English come out, and it's like, I'm getting a happy ending at this fucking place. And then you're a little bit sketch and you can't relax.
Yeah.
But then if you go to like a Hand and Stone, you're just like, okay.
Well, a lot of these people wouldn't mind that tinted massage. I mean, I'm not one of them. I'm just saying in general. Probably 50% of people would.
Nah.
But that's a good point, though. Yeah. You gotta do something. Massages I like too.
I love
And that's
massage.
another piece, take care of your body. So I think today's message is do whatever you can to just take care of your body.
Self-care.
Self-care.
Self-care is important for the mind and the spirit.
Exactly. And with that, I thank you, my love, for joining me on episode 50. This is a big deal.
Happy 50!
Thank you.
Pew, 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 pew.
Fireworks.
Balloons, confetti.
Hey.
Ah.
And it's almost July 4th, so that is exciting.
Ah.
But if you haven't already, guys, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think. So they're very humbling. because whether they're good reviews or bad reviews doesn't matter. A review's a review, and the fact that I get a couple reviews means a lot because that means people are listening, and a lot of people there's a couple buddies that I have up north that told me that they got a lot of value from one of my podcasts, and it helped them get back into fitness and helped them get motivated after having a kid. So that was kind of cool. So stuff like that really makes me feel good. It makes me, excited to do this stuff every day because it does a lot of work, but it is exciting. So thank you, babe, for being a part of episode 50. Many more to come. And
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. And I promise to the listeners that it will not be as many episodes to get this one back on. It's been like 6 episodes she hasn't been on one, so I'll make sure I get better because I know you guys all love the wife. But don't look at her too long. She's mine. All right, but that's all we got for now. Peace.
Adios.